Hi everyone. Happy New Year. It's Abby again, your AI automation specialist that helps you generate revenue and save costs within your business. So I built something interesting and I thought to just share it with you today. Yeah, so what if I told you that right now there are people on LinkedIn who are basically raising their hands saying, I want what you're selling, and you're completely ignoring them? I'm talking about people who viewed your profile in the last 24 hours, people who just liked or commented on your competitor posts about the exact problem you're solving, or they commented or liked a thought leader's post within your space. I'm also talking about warm leads that are actively engaging with content in your space. So, what do most people do? They send cold DMs to random strangers. Fine, at times it works. Then they wonder why most people don't respond. I got tired of that game, so I decided to build something different. And I call it Signal Hunter. And in the last 1 week, it has generated over 25 qualified leads while I was doing something else. So let me explain how it works. Most outreaches that you see out there, you know, are actually like this. You scroll through people's profiles, you manually research each person. Maybe you're using SalesNav or you're using Apollo and the rest of them. And then you craft a message and then you send it, and then crickets. Maybe 2 to 5% would respond to you, and half of those responses will be like, I'm not interested, take me off your list and all. Why? Because you're reaching out to people who have zero context about who you are. So cold outreach to cold leads. And here is something no one talks about. Every single day, people are viewing your LinkedIn profile. And these are not random strangers. They have clicked on you. They want to know about you. They're curious about you. And every single day, people are engaging with posts from thought leaders within your industry. They are commenting, they are signaling their interest. And these are warm leads. They've already raised their hands. So the difference between the response rate of these categories of people would be, the cold outreach doing 2 to 5%, and then you have the warm signal doing 15 to 25%. And this is not just a small improvement. This is a completely different game. So what I did was to build a system that captures these warm leads and then converts them into booked calls for you. So here is the entire picture. So we have the lead sources here, which comprises of the profile visitors that I talked about. It captures everyone who visited your LinkedIn profile or who views your LinkedIn profile every day. And that's like the warmest lead signal possible. They already clicked on you. Then we have the competitor engagers. And what that does is it scrapes the profile of everyone that commented or liked posts from thought leaders within your space. They're interested in your topic, but they don't know you yet. Then we have the nurture pipeline. The nurture pipeline is where the leads become calls. Yeah. And that's where it gets interesting. So there are 7 workflows. We have the profile visitors that I explained just now. Then we have the warming stage that actually likes and comments on the post of these people that have signified their intent. Then we have the connection sender that sends connection requests to them. And then we have the connection checker that detects when they accept. Then we have the first DM sender that would send them the first DM, a personalized opener. It's not generic at all. And then we have the follow up sender that nudges them if they don't respond, in a day or two. Then lastly, we have the response agent that handles the back and forth conversation. So it's a multi agent system that runs on autopilot, and then you're able to wake up to booked calls. Now, let me show you the workflow for each one of them. So you would see that this is an N10 workflow. So every day, this workflow hits LinkedIn through a tool called Unipair and then pulls everyone that views my profile in the last 24 hours. So, but it doesn't just dump names in a spreadsheet. It would enrich them with, as in each profile, it would enrich each profile with job title, the company, their headline, the location, the connection count. And then the AI qualifier, this here, kicks in. So I'm not just chasing everyone that clicks my profile. There are specifics, and I know each one of us, each business has that. We have our ICPs, our ideal customer profile. So are they the decision maker? Are they head of something? Are they directors? Are they founders? Are they CEOs? Is it the right company size? Are they in my target geography? So leads that pass this particular stage will get scored, and then they will be sorted into tiers. So we're having the hot, warm, and cold. So only the hot and warm will enter the nurture pipeline. Then I talked earlier about the competitor engagers, which are the people. They actually this is actually a secret weapon, I must say, because what it does is that I maintain a list of LinkedIn creators within my space. So think of them as competitors, think of them as parallel voices, thought leaders that are speaking to my exact crowd. So every week, this workflow will scrape their recent posts, pull everyone that commented or liked those posts, enrich their profile, and run them through the three-stage AI qualifier that I talked about earlier. So this qualifier is brutal. There are three filters. We have the basic one that is rule-based. So we're looking at location, connection, count, not a student. Then we have the quick screen that will do yes, no, so a Boolean match kind of stuff. Is it a decision maker? Is it not a decision maker? And then we move forward. Then the third stage is the deep analysis, where the AI would analyze the full profile and assign a score from 1 to 10. It will also identify the possible pain points, the buyer type, and everything. So for the top leads, actually, I also run company research using a tool called Tavily to get context on what the company does, any recent news and all. And then this system will generate a personalized DM opener. So it's not a situation whereby you're saying, hey, I saw your profile. No, it's a message that reflects what they commented on or a post they just shared, something that actually opens with curiosity, because we are also trying to build a relationship here. We're not trying to just be transactional. Then what happens after that lead enters the system? They get into my my contact table. So I use Airtable for this. So you're having the name and the profile data, you're having the source. Are they a profile viewer, or they were a content, a community, competitor engager? So all that is what we will be checking. Then the lead score and tier and the stage that they are within the nurturing sequence. Then we have the warming stage. So before I send a connection request, I warm them up. The system finds their recent post or their recent comments, likes it, drops a comment under it, meaningful engagement, not a generic one. And then this does two things. First, my name shows up in their notification. Second, when I'm sending a connection request later, I'm not a complete stranger. They've seen me before. So you can imagine how smooth and well thought of that this process as in is. Then there's the third one, which is the connection sender that I talked about earlier. And what this does is that at a particular time, every weekday, it pulls 10 warm leads and then sends them connection requests with a personalized note, the one I referred to earlier. I capped it at 10 per day because we all know that LinkedIn doesn't like spam and I don't want my account to be banned. So we're talking about quality over quantity here. Then we have the next one, which is the connection checker, which goes to check every pending connection request to see if any of the leads have accepted. So once they accept, this system would update their status and then mark them ready for the next stage. But if someone declines or doesn't respond after 14 days, what it does is that it cleans them up and moves on. Then we have the DM sender, the first DM sender. So this is where the conversation starts. So once they've been accepted, this system sends a DM to those newly connected leads. But here is the key, it's not a pitch message, it's an opener. A message that references maybe their headline or something in their profile or a post they did before, asking a curious question. So there's no pitch, no link, just human curiosity. So, hey, Sarah, I saw that you're leading this here. How's it going? Starting a conversation, a natural conversation. Then after that, we have the follow up sender. So let's say they don't respond within 48 hours. This nudge goes out, a gentle nudge, or bumping this up, and then having that low pressure nudge is what this does. Then the last agent here, which is the response agent, is like the brain of the operation. So what it does is once they start chatting, this goes every 30 minutes during business hours to check for new responses, new replies, and then classify where the lead is in the journey, in the conversation, and then generates contextual appropriate responses. It just doesn't speak out of the wind. It checks it all, very intuitive, and then have that conversation. So the idea is that it follows a targeted 7-step DM framework, building rapport, finding their pain, and then matching it to solution, then sending them demos as the conversation goes, or a case study, asking for a call, and then booking the call. So once it hits that stage 6 and they say yes, what it does is that it reaches out, this as in once they get here within this period, I get a notification on Slack letting me know that calls have been booked. So that's so from then on, I'm able to take over the conversation and then close the deal. Now, if and that's what you would see all this here, yeah. So you can see that there's a Slack channel here, a Slack node here. So that's the message that goes out based on that. Yeah. So, but if at the end of the day it hits a complexity, maybe there's an objection or it needs human nuance, it escalates to me through that Slack channel I showed you just now, and then I'm able to take over manually. Now, let me just show you what has happened within the first week of running this on autopilot. So it has been able to capture 200 profile viewers and then qualified over 150 competitor engagers. It has also sent this number of requests, accepted. These leads have accepted. These are the ones that have accepted the request. The conversation started, and we've been able to book this. So imagine if, and we did not even start from the beginning of the week. And those who are even commenting on their post are actually responding. So that's to let you know how natural sounding it is. And at the end of the day, they're running 24/7. And then the cost of putting it all together, of actually, the tools that we used for it, not the human effort here, but everything that we used is just about £100. So compare that to actually hiring an SDR. So you can imagine how good this is. So I just had to bring it to show you what is happening from my end. I'm going to be straight with you. You could build this yourself. Everything I've shown you uses Anyten for workflow automation, Airtable for the lead database, where you can actually have leads that are in these beautiful leads that you can see here. And then Unipal and the rest of it for the API access and all. The logic is all there, and you've seen the workflows. But here is something I've learned from building automation for clients across fintech, healthcare, property, consulting, and the rest of the industries. Building it is one thing, making it production grade is another. So the rate limiting, error handling, edge cases, making sure it doesn't break at 2 a.m. when you're asleep. That's where I come in. So if you want both lead sources, the profile visitors and the computer engagers, all 7 nurture workflows, custom ICP criteria for your market, production grade error handling, setup, and training. Check the link in the description for more details. Book a call with me and let me build one for you. Look, LinkedIn outreach doesn't have to be a numbers game. You don't have to spam hundreds of cold strangers hoping that someone will reply you. No. There are warm leads on LinkedIn right now. Signal Hunter, the system, captures those signals and converts them to book calls while you sleep. That's the unfair advantage. So if you found this useful, subscribe. I'll be building more systems like this, and I'll show you exactly how they work. See you in the next one.